Welcome back to the Handy Landlord. So I have a few things set up. I wanted to go over a couple of things because a guy reached out to me on my email for the Handy Landlord, and the whole reason that I created this channel in the very first place is just to help people. I wanted to go over a few things. Yes, I am supposed to be watching the kids. I have the baby monitor right here. If my wife sees this video, she just left to Target. I should be getting notifications any minute of how much money she spent. So that'll be great. Pretty depressing every time she goes there, but it is what it is. So the guy that reached out to me has a bathtub drain that is clogged. I absolutely love these drain augers. They have two different models. This is the P4001. I have 3 of them because my van keeps breaking down. There were 2 situations where I had drains that were clogged, and the tenant did not let me know until I actually got there that they had a drain clogged. So it is cheaper for me to go buy one of these drain augers than it is for me to call a plumber. For a lateral line, the plumbers that I use charge anywhere from $120 to $140. Really just depends. These two I've just recently bought. This is the original one that I've bought. Never had a problem with it. Need to change this cable. I did a couple of modifications. I have a couple other videos of a kink cable that got stuck in here. I took it all apart, put it back together. Haven't had any issues with it. I really don't. So the guy asked if I use the auto feed. So I do not really use the auto feed or auto return and stuff. Sometimes I'll use the return. I like to manually feed the drain snake into the line, and that works perfect for me. I generally, like, if you hit a really bad spot, I will lock the cable. Like this mechanism is a lock. This setup, so this trigger right here is a feed, and it will feed it in and out. I love this. I love these things. I snake a lot of drains. Kind of my go-to kit. I have the drain auger. I will grab a charged battery. RYOBI travel bag. I think it has snake written on it. Snake on the side. I keep a couple pair of channel locks. These are the gloves that I like right here. And then I have one of these zipper things. This does a lot right here. That little zip. I'll put links to some of the stuff that I can down in the description. I just put the link there. If you want to buy from it, great. I get like a very small commission on it, but I keep a little bit of pipe dope in here. And then this is a rinse-a-roo. If you are doing service calls and you don't have one of these, this is great. So whenever you snake a bathtub drain, stuff flings everywhere, flings inside the shower. This little rinse-a-roo is for washing dogs, and you actually can put it on the shower head and then spray down all the walls. It's great. It's absolutely great. So I do recommend changing out the cable. This is a Milwaukee 1/4 inch by 25 foot cable. I actually bought a couple of these because they were on sale. I think this one was $35. So I'm actually gonna change this one out right here because this is my main machine. An update, both my kids are asleep and my wife still has not checked out at Target. So here we go. I'm going to change this cable out. See all the kinks in there. Had a few rough jobs with this one. That's all right. You'll need a Torx 25. Take out one of the bearing guides. I wouldn't pull it out all the way. All right. Now, if some of you saw my other video, you'll know where I modified it right there. All you got to do is take a razor blade and cut just a little bit of section off so that the end of the bulb will come out. There's a bulb right there on the end, right here on the end, and this little area right here is a enlarged section, and that little bulb right there, you have to modify. So you have to modify this just a little bit to get that through there. I literally don't even know why they have that little piece of plastic there. It's like It's like they don't want you to change the cable, they just want you to buy a new one. Milwaukee 1.25" 25-foot cable. Alright, grab this bulbed end right there. See, it kind of enlarges right there. Feed it in. Now, people have asked me before if it's directional, and I do not believe it is. There you go. Oh, look at that. They have like a extra stop right there, not to pull it out too far. Boom. All right. All right. Throw that bearing back on there. That's it. You're done. So once you make that modification right there, let me show you on this one. So all you were doing is trimming off a little bit of plastic right there, right? Like this little section of plastic right here prevents you from removing that cable. So if you trim that, you are golden to get that cable out. I'm not gonna worry about these. These are just backups. This is my main one. So for the guy that commented, make sure that you take the cap off down at the bottom of the tub and make sure that that area is clear. So use this little zipper thing. Use this little zipper thing right here and feed that down in there. Make sure there's no hair there. A lot of times I will keep needle nose pliers, the long type that have you know, pretty long ends on them. These kind of snake down in there and can pull it out. This setup is basically what he has right now. It's not PVC, it is actually cast. So this is kind of like what he has set up, and then he has a brass. It's a very common setup. I think that he should be able to clean that drain. This is probably the spot right here where it's going to be clogged, if anywhere. Either that right there or right here. Just go slow, feed that cable in, pull it back, feed that cable in. Just keep working the cable, run water. Yeah, just do that. I mean, you're basically, you know, you'll go in through that overflow, and that you're gonna hit this spot, and that's gonna be kind of tough right down in here. And then you're gonna, you know, so if you want, since it's a brand new, since you have a brand new thing, bend a little bit of a turn on the end, just a little bit. So then when you're coming down here, it's gonna want to go, it's gonna want to feed. It's gonna want to go through that trap. Go in through that overflow, snake down through there, bend a little bit of a curve on that end of that cable, and that will help you get through that trap. And then when you get here, you know, hopefully you can get it to go down. That's probably a spot right there. So you're not going to be in very far, you know, only a few feet, because your tub is probably up here somewhere, and then, you know, down. So I think you should be able to get it. Let's say you don't get it. So this is all cast iron. So what you are going to need to do is cut that cast iron right somewhere in this area. Cut that cast iron. You can either use an angle grinder or a sawzall. Make sure if you're using a sawzall, you're using a new blade. Cut that cast iron, and then you're going to basically take off that old trap. So you're not there. You'll still have a little bit of a piece of a cast iron. Don't cut it off flush. Leave yourself a little bit of a piece of cast iron. It'll make sense in a minute. So cut that piece of cast iron, and then you'll unscrew this section, and you should be able to remove that entire section of trap. So just to run through it real quick. So you still have a piece of cast that's sticking out. Kind of make sure you deburr that, and now is a great time to snake that drain, because you have a more open, straight in shot, and you can clean that, because this right here probably has a bunch of buildup right there. Now what you're going to need to connect to that cast, if you want to go with this tubular setup, this is tubular, 1.5" tubular. So if you want to transition to that, I'll try to put this down in the description, but what you're looking for is CI cast iron to 1.5" tubular. Now that shrinks it down, because the diameter of the tubular is smaller, so that shrinks it down to tubular. This is a no hub band. I don't know all of the exact names, but anyways, so what you'll do is this 1.5" will go on there just like that, a seat in there, and then your tubular, this is an 1.5" P-trap right there. So you have this 1.5" P-trap, you'll slip that in there. You're gonna have to cut this to fit your distance, and then this is an extension, and this should extend up. You know, obviously you'll have to cut and fit these pieces, but this will extend up into there, and then you will screw all this together. And that'll work, and that'll be fine. And this is probably the easiest solution. Let's say you don't like that and you want I don't know, a heavier duty trap. So this is going to be a heavier duty trap. You still have that piece of cast iron that is sticking out right there. So you need to connect another piece of 1.5" PVC to that. This is probably what I would go with, 1.5" cast iron to 1.5" plastic PL. So that'll connect the two. You can also use this one. It's not as sought after. Now I have one of these fancy PVC cutters. I don't like it. I don't like it. I still use these. Cut PVC, I just like that. You get a pretty straight cut. These are pretty old. They probably need to be replaced, but there you go. I'll just show you with this one right here, just like that. And then obviously this is, you know, gonna be too long for his setup, but like that. You'll tighten these up, and that's that. So you'll have you know, you'll have to run a little bit of 1.5". You'll have to run a little bit of an 1.5" PVC, and this, you'll have to glue these fittings together. Put this is a twist connect. This is the type that I like right here. But you will have to fit all this together and glue it. And then this joint right here, you use a little bit of pipe dope on here and a little bit of pipe dope on the joints here. Probably gonna end up keeping one of these in my truck, and then this one stays in the van at all times. So hopefully the guy that sent me the email, thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching all the videos that you said, greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I just do this YouTube thing for fun. I am not sponsored by anybody. I don't do any sponsorships. I wake up to emails every single day of people wanting to send me free products and things, and I'm just honestly not, I'm just not really interested. I'm not interested in having a opinion that is swayed because you sent me a free product. I'm just not interested. So that being said, I just want to keep the stuff real. There's nothing wrong with this. For $80, you can't beat this thing. If anybody's wondering, my wife is headed to another store. She just texted me, so you have that. Anyways, that's how you change a cable on your RYOBI drain auger.